Alrighty, welcome to episode 7, finally, of the Film Room. I am your obvious host, entertained today, aka Jeremy Kaziva. I'm here with, finally, William Araki, who is disguising himself as Thanos being slapped by Will Smith. What's up, William?
Nothing much. How you been, man? It's good to hear from you, man. Too
It's
long
good to
since
be
the
here.
last pod.
It's good to be here as well, and I freaking miss doing these pods in the first place, so without further ado, let's get started and let me share my screen. Give me 1 second. Here we go. All right. So as you know, the Oscars were just last weekend, and there were plenty of surprises and expected slash unexpected winners. So let's start with the first one, shall we? We have the winner for actor in the leading role being Adrian Brody from The Brutalist, who actually got a lot of Golden Globes during the show. So this was probably not really a stunner to most people, but to me, I feel like it should have gone to either Timothy Chalamet for A Complete Unknown or Carmen Domingo from Sing Sing. Do you have any thoughts at all on this winner, or who do you think should have won this instead?
Well, I mean, this he's one of the best actors. You know what I mean? Like it's. I like Timothy. I haven't seen a lot of his work, but like it's hard to. And what sucks is that I haven't seen this movie that he was nominated for. But I mean, if you've seen his line of work, he's a real one. He puts his all into whatever film he does. So it's hard to not think that he wouldn't be talented enough. I don't know, man. Timothy's still young, man. I haven't seen his acting chops in more mature movies like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and to
So
think if Timothy won this award, he would have been the youngest winner ever, youngest actor ever for this award as well, which would have made history.
and see, I don't. I still haven't seen a complete unknown, but I mean, from what I've seen, little bits of clips here and there, I don't know. I'm just not sold, but you know
All
what?
right,
I'll have to watch both to make a more informed opinion.
all right. I guess we have to respect, anyways, the winner. Again, it was voted by the Academy, and respectfully, he. I thought he was gonna like possibly him in the movie itself. I thought that they were gonna sweep the Oscars because of how much Golden Globes it won. But thank God we got a different surprise winner for the show that almost swept everything. But we'll get to that later on.
Yeah.
So so those are listening. Actor in the leading role was won by Adrian Brody from The Brutalist over Timothy Chalamet, Coleman Domingo, Ralph Fiennes from Conclave, and Sebastian Stan from The Apprentice. All right, William, actor in supporting role.
Oof, I'm cooked.
We got the obvious winner in Kieran Culkin from A Real Pain with Jesse Eisenberg. We get also from Honora, Yura Borisov, Edward Norton from A Complete Unknown, Guy Pearce from The Brutalist, again, there you go, and Jeremy Strong from The Apprentice, with the winner being Kieran Culkin from A Real Pain, which was one of the winners that did shock me. Do you have any thoughts on this winner? Or these nominees that I should have won, maybe?
How come it shocked you? Was there another actor that
I was expecting, either Edward Norton or the fact that Nora got a lot of Oscars, like Oscar awards. I was expecting Nora or The Brutalist. I mean, A Complete Unknown to win this. I didn't expect Kieran Culkin to win this. Respectfully, that's just my opinion.
fair enough, fair enough. It's just, yeah, again, I haven't seen a complete unknown, but I love Edward Norton, one of my all time favorite actors. But if the quality of what I think the complete unknown is what I really think it is, and that maybe that's why he didn't. I just don't think it was that. I don't know. Didn't look like a like. I don't know.
Yeah, and
It was
yeah, I get you.
it's hard to describe what I feel is wrong with that movie. It didn't it whenever I've seen clips of it, it doesn't sell itself to me. This it doesn't seem like real people. I don't know. It's hard because of course they're actors. You know, they're doing their best to retell a story that happened in real life. But
Yeah, and the best part though about Kieran Culkin winning has to be his speech. He
oh,
is the most unintentionally funniest actors when it comes to making a speech, and I love it. That's the best part.
and doesn't he have an Oscar and now his brother doesn't have an Oscar now? Is that what
I
what's
believe
going on
so.
now?
That's what I think, and that's what's hilarious about it too.
Yeah, see, I thought you were gonna say that at first, yeah, because it's so funny because they look so alike. You know, I didn't even know he had a brother for the longest.
hmm And for the people listening on Spotify, apologize for any background noise on my side or William's side. We're obviously not in the studio, so just a little heads up for you guys.
Soon, we're
So,
working on that.
God willing. So, anyways, yes, Kieran Culkin is your winner for actor in supporting role over the over the actor from Anora, Yor Borisov, Edward Norton, a complete unknown, Guy Pearce from The Brutalist, and Jeremy Strong from The Apprentice. Actress and leading role. This one did surprise me for sure. Winner was Mikey Madison from Anora over Cynthia Erivo from Wicked, who I thought was going to win this award, and over Carla Emilia Perez, Demi Moore from The Substance, and Fernanda Torres from I'm Still Here. Do you have any thoughts on this category winner?
Well, I don't know if this was the first one that we saw from Nora, but by the end of the night, I was definitely surprised, and it makes me so sad I haven't seen Nora. That movie was collecting. You know, let's not spoil it for
Mm-hmm.
anybody listening, but you know, I don't know. Just seeing the competition, I don't. It feels like the competition is not that fierce, and I'm not trying to downplay, but I've seen the substance, and Wicked. It seems like a good movie, but it's a musical. You know what I mean?
That's
Like
true. That's
even the
true.
best musicals maybe are not. You know, it's a. I've never held musicals and movies in the same regard. A film is a film, and a musical is just something slightly to the side. You know what I mean? Oh, Abner's here.
What's up, Abner?
What's up, everybody? How you doing?
Everything good?
Doing good, yes, sir.
And before we move on, do you have any thoughts on the winner for actor supporting role or actor in leading role?
As of right now, I don't have any comment on the actor on a supporting role. I do have a comment for the leading role.
Mm-hmm.
I do believe that Adrian Brody is a good choice, and I mean, I think out of all those people, he's probably the one that deserved it the most based on the trailers that I've seen from the movie. I haven't actually seen The Brutalist. Um, But when it comes to the talk around Timothy Chalamet and whether he could be the youngest to win it and all of that, I think he's a good candidate for it. But I don't think that that for that film he necessarily deserved that role, like that award. But he might win it in the
Mm-hmm.
future, depending on the other films.
All right,
Yeah,
cool.
he definitely has the potential, dude. Like I bet you in a couple years we're gonna see his name again, and he's gonna do a more serious movie. You know, oh, just
I
maybe
just
not
don't
yet.
like seeing a complete unknown. I was actually surprised that he was actually nominated for that movie. I mean, I understand why he was nominated, because the work that it takes in to make a biography. It's like Austin Butler with Elvis, um, and Rami Malek also in Rhapsody. Like it takes a lot of work to put in that. If you notice, two of the actors in that category are for biographies. It's Timothy and then Sebastian Stan. That's also a biography. So then I understand why they gave him the nomination, but again, I don't necessarily think he was due that award, although he is one of my favorite and one of the greatest actors. So
All right, let's move on to finally to act, actor supporting role. You have no thoughts on, right? Just the winner being Kieran Culkin, who gave one of the funniest speeches I remember.
Yes, apparently he wants a lot more kids.
That's true.
I was drawing a blank, and I just remembered. Yeah, he said if he won an Oscar, him and his wife, they need to push out another baby. Let's go.
Yes, expecting about 5 months for some news about pregnancy.
Let's get right.
Yeah.
Stay
All
tuned,
right.
guys.
Actress the leading role. Do you have any thoughts, Abner, on this one? With
I
Mikey
mean,
Madison, your
I mean,
Nora film.
I think you already know my thoughts. I did not think that she was the favorite to win, but she was definitely my favorite to win, and I definitely thought she did a
For
great.
every award, I
Yeah.
know.
I wanted Honora to win in a lot of movies, but this category specifically was important for me because I mean, when I saw that movie, the depth of character that she played in that film, she goes from basically I believe she plays a 23-year-old in the movie, and she goes from being like unknown to being in a sex scene to then also like meeting this character who then she immediately falls in love with, and her emotions, her face in those emotions portrays such a like a real character to the story that it just makes you hooked in it. And then towards the end you can see her kind of unravel her emotions, like how
Mm-hmm.
it just goes downhill, how she tries to combat those emotions, and then eventually the ending scene where I mean one of the best of the year, and probably what got her the role at the end. I know you haven't seen it yet, Jeremy,
I'm going
so
to. I'm
I
going
don't
to
want to
tonight.
spoil it. I don't want to
I'm
spoil
going
most
to.
of the film, but dude, I mean, her emotions in that film, like that's why I think she deserved that role, and that's what she got it.
All right, and I respect that, but I did believe Cynthia Erivo from Wicked really should have won this award over
Mhm.
Mikey Madison, only because I didn't see Honora yet. But Cynthia Erivo, she really like stunned me in this movie. Her vocals, just her acting skills, and just yeah, no thoughts with
Yeah,
no other thoughts with that. I just know it should have been at least a tight race between her and I guess Mikey Madison, which I'm gonna watch tonight. But think Cynthia should have won, but definitely over Carla, over Demi Moore. I'm not sure about yet, and Fernando Torres. I'm not sure about either yet. But Cynthia Erivo was definitely should have been in the running for sure for this
I
award.
I have a take over the Demi Moore
Hmm.
acting. She was good in the film. Don't get me wrong. She's a great actress and she was good. But a lot of the film revolves around the young actress. I forgot her name right now.
Mm.
She was in you know her name. I
Yeah,
forgot her name. I'm
the one
drawing.
who did the James Bond show on the
Yes,
Oscars.
her. She acts for most of the film.
Oh,
Even
okay.
though yes, like the Demi Moore parts were intense, but it also didn't have a lot of dialogue either. It was more like body acting,
Hmm.
and a lot less emotions than a film like Nora, which involved a lot of crying, a lot of ups and downs. Um, and in regards to the Cynthia nomination, I remember. I don't know if you remember it on the night that we saw the watch party. We were talking about maybe this should be a category for best singer or best
Hmm.
best voice in a
Right.
in a film. Maybe that should be a category that they should propose in the future. So who knows?
Hmm.
You
All
know, it's
right.
funny. My
Yeah.
bad. Just one, 2 cents about him mentioning the substance. I thought about it
Hmm.
because I was like, I love Demi Moore's acting in that movie, but you're absolutely right. It feels like I saw more of the younger version than I did later, like halfway through the movie, than the older version. That being said, like you said, the older, Demi Moore killed it. She really when the for the first part of the movie, genuinely any part she was in was amazing, and I was hooked. But as the movie progressed, like you've seen Abner, I don't know, man. He just got worse and worse. That's a talented person started it, and some
Yeah,
the janitor dude finished it, dude. I don't know who finished it, man, but I don't know.
and that movie was something else. I came out of it like I mentioned, disgusted. It was
Me too.
like
Me
and
All
too,
it's
right.
man.
All right, guys. So
It's
Mikey
those-
Madison is your winner for actress in a leading role, and yes, Abner is definitely having a party about that still.
I absolutely partied that night for sure. I popped a bottle of champagne and stuff. I don't drink, but
All right, time for actress in a supporting role, with the winner being obviously Zoe Saldana from Emily Perez over Monica Barbaro from A Complete Unknown, who I love, Ariana Grande from Wicked, Felicity Jones from The Brutalist again, and Isabella Rossellini from The Conclave. I really think this was a tight race also between, yes, Zoe Saldana and, actually, I'm sorry, a three-way tie between Zoe, Monica, and Ariana, because they're both amazing, especially when I see them in trailers. They're both amazing, and this was an award that respect to Zoe, but I really think Ariana, despite being a musical artist, I think it should have been more likely a two-way tie between Ariana and Zoe, but respect to Zoe for winning her first Oscar, I believe, as well. Is there any thoughts on this category winner?
yeah, this is Zoe's first Oscar. She
Mm-hmm.
became the first, I believe, Dominican heritage um, person at all to win an Oscar, which is, I mean, props to her. And she has been in the industry for a very long time. I completely
Mm-hmm.
took out the fact that she was an Avatar. I mean, she was an
Mm-hmm.
Avatar. She was obviously in the Avengers and obviously Guardians of the Galaxy, like all that series. Um, she obviously, I mean, well deserved. The movie may not have been, to the best standards of quality, but she definitely saved that movie. I recall in my first review of that movie, I remember I wrote something like, Zoe saves this movie. And that's the
Wow.
impact that she had on that movie, to me. And Ariana Grande, props to her, but I don't think the Academy would have voted for her at all. At least not in her first big major major budget film. She is an actress. Remember that she started
Mm-hmm.
acting as an actress with Victorious and like other TV shows, Sam and Cat.
The say, yeah.
Um, but her first, I mean, who knows? Maybe next year, because remember she's also in Wicked too.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe next year she has a bigger role in that movie and she's able to win one. Who knows?
Hey, but hopefully she does a more serious role in the future, man. Because
Yeah,
like,
I don't know. I don't see Ariana Grande just as a person. To see her like in a more like those action, crime, thrilling. I don't see her in those kind of movies for some reason. Because her personality just it fits Glinda from Wicked so well. It's hard for me to see her in those serious toned movies.
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. 'Cause she's an actress, but who knows what she'll get casted in
It,
after Wicked.
it depends on how she wants to take her career,
That's
and
true.
how she wants to blend it with her music career. Because
Mm-hmm.
at some point the questions is gonna get asked: Ariana, are you gonna retire from music? Are you gonna shift your music towards
Mm-hmm.
it? Wicked, like you said, it's a perfect role for her. I mean, she has mentioned thousands of times that she wanted Wicked since she was a little kid. She was a huge fan, grew up around it.
Mm-hmm.
I believe even attended the musicals and stuff. Um, so she's a huge fan of the series. So it was like a perfect combination for her. But yeah, I see what you're saying in terms of personality. Like
Mm-hmm.
she's not the person that you would think of in a serious movie. Um, Even I recall now she was actually in Don't Look Up from Netflix, and even in that
That
film,
yeah.
yeah, even in that film, she played a careless kind of person that didn't care about life, like a goofy
Mm-hmm.
type of person. Um, so we'll
Which
see.
was new.
Yeah, it depends on whether she wants to take her whether she wants to focus on actually acting
Mm-hmm.
most of the time and getting connections within the industry. We'll see.
Right. William, any last thoughts in this category?
uh, not too much. Look, to be honest, it's my opinion, but I feel like there's not a lot of movies out right now. That's because if the Conclave's that movie about church, I'm not sure what the Brutalist is about. Wicked is a musical. Complete Unknown is the Bob
Biopic
Dylan.
on Bob Dylan.
You know, and I'm not even sure what isn't that another biopic about the
It's a
Spanish singer?
All I know is that it's a musical, which is why I didn't see it. I'm not
Wait,
into
Oh
musicals.
my! So we got two musicals. You
William,
know what I mean?
which one?
Emilia Perez.
Yeah, it's like Joker, man. It's like
Oh,
Joker Part Two. It's a musical
ooh.
that tries to be a musical, but it's like the songs are off. Like there's something off about it.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's not like Wicked, where Wicked like it was made to be a musical and you enjoy it as a musical and you're gonna go and watch it as a musical.
All
Yeah,
right. Apologies, but due to the sake of time, we do have to move on. Again, for the viewers and for the listeners, the winner for actress in a supporting role was Zoe Saldana, her first Oscar. Congrats to her. Well deserved. Now, this one is like the one that kind of pissed me off. Best animated feature film goes to Flow, over Inside Out 2, and over The Wild Robot. Make that make sense. Please, whoever goes first, whoever wants to go first, go ahead. Make this make sense.
whatever you want to take it ahead or
Anyone
No,
of you.
no, you're probably gonna be more knowledgeable. You should lead the way, man.
bro. I mean, look, I can't talk for Flo. It clearly won. I believe it won 2 awards, correct?
I
Or
believe so.
like it won another award for something. I can't talk about a film that I haven't seen. So I'm never gonna talk about a film that I haven't seen because for all I know, it's the greatest film of all time. Yeah, but it's like William mentioned earlier. There's not a lot of films that are out and stuff like that. And at least for the previous category, like if you ask a person that doesn't watch film consistently like we do, would they be able to actually point out any of these movies without like they wouldn't. So a
Right.
lot of these like acts and nominations, like a lot of times a category like Flow wins, where it's like nobody knows the movie, but then it might be like one of the best movies of all time. Personally, I wanted The Wild Robot to win. But
Mm. Well, during the time where they're rolling down the nominations, this and that, I was literally praying in my head. I really wanted Inside Out 2 to clearly win this category for so many reasons. The animation was incredible. I love the addition of anxiety, the voice acting. I love how they took us more in depth and showed us new things within, her mind. And yeah, I'm looking forward to Inside Out 3. That's going to happen soon eventually. And seeing what other emotions they add to her as she grows older. The Wild Robot definitely has won in different categories. Or no, I'm sorry, the Wild Robot got 0 Oscars, which also surprised me. It should have won Best Original Score or Best Music, something like that. But Inside Out 2 is my personal winner for this category, with all due respect to Flow.
And
Although,
it's
yeah,
crazy that you mentioned that because like Disney lost at best, and like this Flow movie better be crazy. You know what I mean? Like it better be on a whole nother level. If Inside Out is not
I
even like that's
mean,
crazy.
all I saw was how different the animation looked compared to Inside Out 2. And this movie got insane props mainly for, the animation and the story. That's
yeah,
all I heard.
I saw a video actually today of the process that it took to create like Flow, and
Hmm.
it was insane. A lot of it was like done like by hand and stuff like that. And I mean, in terms of animation, like when I saw that video, I was like, okay, I see why it won. It may not have been, like I said, the popular choice, but then again, they don't vote by which one is the most popular. They
Right.
vote by which one they think brought something new to the table. So
Hmm. Well, with respect to Flow, that's the clear winner, and I'm not sure if it even won by landslide or not because
they don't tell you the votes. So
I, I know that, which sucks
yeah,
because
Wow, so it could have been like just one vote.
it could
absolutely
have
good.
been by just one vote or by a landslide. Who
Who
knows?
knows? But
But
come on, Inside Out. Yeah.
Inside Out 2 is my personal winner, but Flow is your winner for best animated feature film. Best animated short film. Unless you guys have any thoughts, I'm gonna respectfully skip this, but just announce the winner. The
You can
winner
announce
was The winner was In the Shadow of the Cypress, but I have no knowledge of any of these movies. I've not seen these movies. I'm not a short film kind of guy, so unless you guys have thoughts again, I'm going to respectfully skip this category and I just announced the winner.
Yeah, congratulations to the winner, but yeah,
Yes,
no thoughts.
In the Shadow of the Cypress. Congrats to you, with all due respect. I'm not interested in this kind of category, so I'm moving on. That's just me. All right. Best cinematography. My personal winner is Dune Part 2, but the winner, respectfully, was The Brutalist over Emilia Perez, over Nosferatu and Maria. Nosferatu, to me, is third place, right behind Dune Part 2, and the clear winner, The Brutalist. Any thoughts on this category, you guys?
Yeah, I mean, to me, it should have been Doom Part Two, man. That view is just beautiful. It's
Mm-hmm.
astounding when you see that freaking worm pop up on the IMAX screen, and you look up, and you're like, this feels real. It felt
Yeah.
like you were there. Like it felt like out of nowhere, the sun was just gonna like take that theater down and consume you in it. It that's what I felt when I watched that film.
In
Um,
IMAX, too.
in IMAX, and I'm telling you, I watched this film at least 5 times. Not even kidding. Like I watched it over and over and over, and that's how like beautifully flawless the cinematography looked. That it was easy on the eyes, but also it could draw you in. Um, I don't think any of these films compare when it comes to that. But then again, I'm not a voter, so
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I heard Nosferatu wasn't really a great film. Like someone told me, like a wise man told me, it was about a vampire trying to have some fun with a woman, and that's all. That's not what Nosferatu looked like to me. And now I'm thankful to know that, to know not to watch it. So,
personally, Nosferatu, I can see why it's in the cinematography category
mhm,
because like the viewing of it, the
right.
visuals of it were creative and were nice. Story wise, I mean, I tuned out like 3 seconds in when I realized that it was just Lily Rose Depp trying to have
Yes.
intercourse with a dead vampire.
Try to keep it PG.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
William, any thoughts in this category at all?
You know, sadly, I haven't seen The Brutalist, but as a certified Dune hater, all right, one of the things that I do have to give it credit for is that, like you said, those scenes, just the scale of every scene was amazing. I may not like the costumes, I may not like, what the story was about, I may not like a whole lot, but there are moments where you're like, damn, this, this is just like, I'm really looking at like, the what was it called, the Harkonnens, the bald dudes, everything about their
Mhm.
world. When you saw the camera pan out and you see the whole city, just so much, they cooked. But even as a hater, I'm surprised that that movie didn't win if it got nominated. The Brutalist, I better see some shots. There's some crazy
Well,
shots.
I'm pretty sure that the Brutalist is now available to watch either still in theaters or on digital. So go have fun with it.
Yeah,
But
it's
my,
it's
but my
still
first, what's up?
it's still so the Brutalist is still in theaters, and when regards to Doom Part Two, now that you mentioned the Harkonnens, one of the best scenes probably in sci-fi like film history was that switch. Well, there's two scenes in that. The switch to black and white when they wanted to show the Harkonnen planet, and when Fade comes in and like that fight like with the prisoner, you're impressed. Like you get chills when you see that fight. You're like, oh my god, I'm in a surreal world. Like this is insane. And then the
Mm-hmm.
fight at the end with him and Paul, um, I mean, wow, like you just leave it and it's like this was beautifully crafted. You could tell the director really cared about it and about like the more deep story.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, every scene had its own little vibe. Like you said, like that black and white world of the Harkonnens, I love just staring at it. Did I like the story? No, but I love staring at it. So
All
definitely
right.
could appreciate.
All right. So I think we can agree that our personal winner was should have been Dune Part 2 because that's just known for its cinematography.
Yep.
But all respect to the Brutalist for winning this category as well. Now, William, speaking of costume, next costume design. Winner, well deserved, Wicked over A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Gladiator 2, and Nosferatu. This is actually one of the winners who I finally can agree with. Wicked.
Same here. I've only seen clips and pictures, man, and those costumes on Wicked look insane. I've seen the pictures of Complete Unknown, and it just looks like I know the setting's supposed to be 1960s, but it looks like now. It looks like these are just regular people. If it weren't for the cars and
Hmm.
certain things, they just look like regular dudes. Just wearing jeans and a t-shirt. Which fair is what people were probably wearing in the 1960s, but I don't know, man. I feel like I've seen better time period pieces than that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hmm.
that's my opinion. Yeah.
Go for it, Abner. Any thoughts?
Yeah, Abner, any
I
thoughts, dude?
no, I mean I agree with you. Honestly, Wicked is the winner in this category. I saw Wicked. I saw A Complete Unknown. I haven't seen Conclave. I'm planning to, hopefully. Um, I saw Gladiator 2, Nosferatu. Nosferatu should not even be considered in this category. Um,
Wow, okay.
yeah, Gladiator 2, I can see why, but then again, it was like some scenes might grab you, and you'll be like, damn, that's a cool costume, but it wasn't like the main story. However, when you see Wicked,
Hmm.
you notice the difference in costumes from everybody, and you're like, okay, yeah,
Hmm.
obviously this should be the film that wins this category. So
Yeah, again, looking at Gladiator 2, again, this was taken. This was centered mostly about the Colosseum and the fights, and we knew probably what to expect with those outfits. So that wasn't really surprising why they didn't win because they weren't gonna wear what you would wear in Conclave. They weren't gonna wear what you would wear in A Complete Unknown or Wicked. Like they wore what you'd expect. Those gladiator armor with the swords, like back in those times. So that to me is what I would have expected to see and why it personally didn't win, but it wasn't a bad movie. I see why it didn't win for costume design over Wicked.
yeah,
Yeah, fair
Directing,
point.
guys.
Ooh.
Abner, this is your category. Directing goes to Honora over The Brutalist, A Complete Unknown, Emilia Perez, and The Substance. Abner, take it away. What are your thoughts?
listen, man, this movie 100% has my heart. This movie deserves to win any category, every single category in that in that ceremony. However, when it comes to directing, Sean Baker really does do a great job at directing a masterpiece, independent film, by the way, with a $6 million budget only. And he
Mm-hmm.
managed to not only, mind you, he didn't only direct this movie, he wrote it, he produced the movie as well. So, and I'm sure he did more stuff that obviously will not even be listed on it.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that he takes a creative, and it's an original story, which is harder because a true story you could always base it off, something that happened. But to make an original story feel real, that is a great, great skill to have. And Sean Baker 100% deserves at least this win for this category. When it comes to the other ones, the substance I thought would seeing it yesterday, well 2 days ago I think, the substance was also a category that could have been up there and could have won. Um, I don't think A Complete Unknown deserves, like I said, any Oscars. To be honest, I was shocked when they were in the Oscars. I was like, oh, okay. But yeah, for me, Sean Baker absolutely killed it and did great job in the North. So
Yeah, I don't think A Complete Unknown won any Oscars at all. So I'm sorry for them. I'm sorry for Timmy Chalamet. I'm sorry to Monica. I'm sorry to everyone involved for not winning anything. But it's a Bob Dylan biopic, and I'm not sure how many people were interested in seeing that movie unless you knew who Bob Dylan was, probably.
yeah, that's a great take actually. Um, it, it's if you really wanted to know who Bob Dylan was, which obviously is one of the world's greatest, musicians,
Mm-hmm.
but he's
Yeah.
also a figure that in modern day music history is not relatively known
Right.
to the modern generation. It's not like when Rami Malek did like
Mm-hmm.
Bohemian Rhapsody. Everybody knows who Queen.
Mm-hmm.
So he had to really be spot on. Honestly, I was surprised when Timothy was nominated for that movie. I thought he was going to be nominated for Doom Part 2
Mm-hmm.
for
And
the great job that he did.
and And at first, I was trying to figure out why they cast Timothy for this role. They thought, I guess, having one of the most popular modern actors to portray Bob Dylan would help or work, but I'm not sure if that did a great job at all. Even, but that's just my opinion.
I I've seen videos on the work that he put in for this film, and I appreciate it. He really did do
Hmm.
a good job. And when you look at when you do side by side comparisons of like the Bob Dylan shows versus the movie, some of like most of it was accurate, you know. Um, but again, there was something about the movie when I watched it. I left the theater like, okay, that's cool. Like, yeah, I'll learn who Bob Dylan is and a few more stuff, but then that's it. It wasn't like Bohemian Rhapsody. When you watch it, it's like, whoa, like let me learn
Hmm.
about these people. Um, so yeah.
William, any last thoughts?
I just wish they would have picked a different actor. You know what I mean? Because like I'm looking at a picture of Bob Dylan right now, and like Timothy Charlemagne does not look like him at all. Like, and mind you, I bet he put in a lot of work researching the character, researching the type of person that he was, and all that. But I don't know, man. I knew I
Well,
had a hard time. I really wish they would just grab other actors. We don't have to use the Hollywood top 10. You know what I mean? We don't have
mhm,
like we could give other
yeah,
people a chance that might be able to kill it on the screen, dude.
and here also off topic, I heard Zendaya is being casted in a lot more movies as well. Besides that new Christopher Nolan movie that's coming out, I believe next year or two, The Odyssey, and she's also been casted in so as Shrek's daughter for Shrek 5.
Shrek.
Yeah.
that was unexpected. You
Yeah.
guys excited for that
Exactly.
one? I am.
I don't know.
But
This
I
is
told my
this is a
friends, my
this is a
bad.
topic for a different day, William. Okay, topic
I
for a
know,
different
I
day.
know. But all I'm gonna
Anyways,
say about that is I saw the trailer for Shrek 5, and
it was a
he's
teaser.
on
It was a very
Ozempic
small
or
teaser.
something, man. He's too skinny. That's all I'm saying. They need to fatten him up. We need bring back Fat
Uh,
Shrek, dude. All right, give him a
anyways,
hamburger, bro. Please.
anyways, Nora wins the best directing. Abner, I know you're smiling right now, so
Yeah,
let's move on.
absolutely, man.
Okay, this category I'm gonna respectfully skip over, but best documentary feature film goes to No Other Land over Black Box Diaries, Porcelain War, Soundtrack to a Coup d'etat, and Sugarcane. Congrats to No Other Land, respectfully still. And this one I'm gonna skip over as well. Best documentary short film goes to The Only Girl in the Orchestra over Death by Numbers, I Am Ready Warden, Incident, and Instruments of a Beaten Heart. Film editing. Here we go again. Winner goes to once again Nora over The Brutalist, Conclave, Emilia Perez, and Wicked. Abner, any thoughts on this category?
I mean, watching that ceremony, I was in shock how many wins they were able to. I mean, I wanted just one. I was like, I really want Mickey Madison to win. Not Mickey and
Yeah,
Mikey Madison. And I really
Mike. Yeah.
wanted her to win. Um, and I mean, just seeing. I mean, I get it. I get why they won film editing because a lot of it was the editing. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of it, from that film that draws you in so much is the editing of it. Um, I haven't seen The Brutalist. I haven't seen Conclave. I did see Emilia Perez, and I thought it was. I mean, with all my due respect to the filmmakers and everybody, I did not think it was. I thought the editing was
Mm-hmm.
blurry and kind of left you in a sense of like vertigo, where you're like kind of moving around. There's too much editing, too much movement. Wicked, I can see why it's in there, but again, for me, out of all of those, Anora definitely wins it, and I'm glad the Academy saw that as well. So
Mm-hmm. I saw this as a two-way tie again between Honora and Wicked, but I can see why Wicked didn't win this. I can see why Wicked did win the other awards that it won, which will be announced soon. But all respect to Nora, a film that won 5 Oscars, and the reason why I'll watch it tonight before bed. But yeah, respect to Nora as the winner. I'm just glad the Brutalist didn't win another Oscar or Conclave or Amelia Perez. So Nora or Wicked would have made my night, and and Anora was the top winner for film editing. Best international feature film. Once again, a category I have no knowledge on. The winner goes to Brazil for I'm Still Here, the film, over Denmark's The Girl with the Needle, France's Emilia Perez, Germany's The Seed of the Sacred Fig, and Latvia's Flow. So, winner again goes to I'm Still Here. That's a Brazilian movie, I assume, I guess.
I
Let's
have
move.
two comments, Jeremy,
Yeah.
for this category actually.
All
One,
right.
I find it ironic um, that Emilia Perez is considered a French film because it was made by French filmmakers, but the
Mm-hmm.
story revolves completely around the Mexican culture
Mm.
and Mexico. So that for sure has become like a hot topic of
Okay.
discussion online, um, especially with some of the comments that Zoe made. Well, they asked her a bunch of questions after the show, and there were
Right.
comments in there. Um, and then second thing for the winner for the Brazil, I'm Still Here. I was watching videos of people celebrated this win in Brazil and the Rio
Yeah.
Carnival. Right now, they were
Mm-hmm.
having the Rio Carnival and they announced it, and the whole crowd went crazy. That's how
Yep.
and important the Oscars are for them. And living in America, like in the U.S., a lot of times we take for granted like the Oscars, the Grammys, things that to us just seem natural because we've grown up with it.
Mm-hmm.
For these people winning, for people from other countries winning an award like that, it's like validation that
Mm-hmm.
they may never ever get again. For these
Right.
filmmakers as well, like they finally made it. That's a big category for them. All of these categories.
It's a
So
really great point. Really great point. William, any thoughts on this before we move forward?
No, absolutely. It's funny that we can maybe make fun of that Zoe actress for, announcing to the world that she was like what the first Dominican actress to win an Oscar in that. But it's good that they mention these things because a lot of people,
Mm-hmm.
that means a whole lot to them. And to see somebody that looks like them on the big screen winning the big award is definitely going to inspire them to keep filmmaking, because talent comes from anywhere. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
it's a good thing to see.
Yep. All right. So once again, best international feature film goes to I'm Still Here, Brazil. Makeup and hairstyling. This one did shock me. The Substance wins best makeup and hairstyling over A Different Man, Amelie Perez, Nosferatu, and Wicked. I have no thoughts, but I'm just saying I think Wicked should have gotten this one as well.
I have thoughts.
Hmm.
Have you seen The Substance yet, Jeremy?
That's actually I'll say this week, but I'm watching first I Know It today, and then the Substance right afterwards.
Go watch The Substance, and you will know why it's category one.
Okay.
Holy, like, wow.
Okay.
Like, I don't understand the hairstyling part. I don't know how they decide these. Like, is it just makeup, hairstyling? I don't think there was that much
Hmm.
hairstyling in. I mean, yeah, there was for some of the
Right.
scenes. See it. Obviously, Wicked probably require more hairstyling because of the type of movie that it is.
Yeah.
But bro, the makeup. I mean, I saw a tweet, a post yesterday
Hmm.
about. I keep forgetting her name. The young actress in The Substance.
I know what you mean. Yes, I'm sure the viewers know too. Don't worry.
Um, Basically the makeup was so intense on her body that in some of the shots they had to actually film her like face down, like her face like from an upside down angle,
Hmm.
um, because her face had become so allergic to the constant daily makeup poured on it, like from the final scene, from the monster scene that I showed, that I sent you the picture of,
Hmm.
that her face had become unusable on film. Like they had to film her from her legs and up
Wow.
because her face had become all rashy and stuff, and they couldn't use it on film. And when I read that from her, and when I saw the makeup like in the film, I was like, oh, okay, like yes, wow. So there's
That's
anything that the movie
crazy.
goes has going for them, it's absolutely makeup. So
All right. William, any last thoughts before we move forward?
I'm just saying you're gonna love that movie. Maybe sort of. You're gonna like it in the beginning. You're gonna get disappointed by the end. But Abner's 100% right. Like the
Well, like
it's so cool. It's
All
very
right.
cool.
Well, like I mentioned, I'm not a horror fan, but this one looks like it's more of a thrilling than a jump scare kind of movie. So I'll definitely give it a watch. But Nora is definitely first. I'm not skipping Nora. But The Substance is your winner for best makeup and hairstyling over my Wicked choice, and over Nosferatu too, Emilia Perez and A Different Man. Okay, this one
Fair
also
enough.
pissed me off. Best music original score for some reason goes to The Brutalist over Emilia Perez, Conclave, Wicked, and The Wild Robot, which I thought got this Oscar easily. The Wild Robot. The music for that movie seriously moved me. Like I was literally in tears for some of the scenes with the music they had, with the choices they had. But
Really?
it
Hold
was
up. You
snubbed.
would
Yeah.
you like the music from the Wild Robot more than you liked Wicked? Because isn't Wicked a musical?
So The Wicked is a musical, but I just thought the Wild Robot, the type of animation that it had, and just the fact that this movie actually made me, in ways, tear is hard to make me do in any movie. But Wicked respectfully won in different categories. I thought the Wild Robot had this category specifically in hand, but apparently
Fair
not.
enough.
I actually agree with you on this, Jeremy. The Wild Robot had something special. I remember when I watched it, I also kind of teared up. Like
Mm-hmm.
it had something emotional and
Yeah.
awfully new about it and raw. That none of these movies here had. I haven't seen The Brutalist, so I can't speak for it or Conclave,
Right.
but I know for sure Emilia Perez should not even be in this category. Maybe for another song, maybe for songs, but not score. Score is supposed to be music that guides the film,
Mm-hmm.
music that makes you feel stuff, not necessarily original songs.
Right.
So I can see also why Wicked didn't win. A lot of Wicked's songs are not even from this film; they're from the theater play.
Hmm.
They adapted like some of the music, but a lot of what guides the Wicked, these were already popular songs. Defying Gravity within the theater industry is one of the most popular, well-known songs.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande are doing it obviously adds a lot of power to it, but that doesn't take away from the fact that it's still not an original score.
You're right.
It's an adapted music.
Mm-hmm.
Some of it was
Oh,
original, but the Wild Robot, however, was original, and the Brutalist, I can't speak for it. Maybe it has the best music of all time. I just haven't seen it. So
we
William, any
got some
last
catching
thoughts?
up to do this weekend, straight up. Like, dude, I am watching these movies. There's no way, you know. But yeah, I
listen, the
guess that makes a
Brutalist
whole
is
lot of
three and a
sense.
half hours long. So good
Oof.
luck with
Hey, I
that.
like long movies. I really like sitting down and getting into the world,
Only
dude.
if they're good,
Wow.
right?
Yes, but the Brutalist, I believe it's a slow moving. It's not like Endgame. It's a slow
Oh,
movie. So I mean, obviously, I'm into that type of movie as well every once in a while. But it has to be a day where I really have nothing to do.
true.
Mm-hmm.
It
So
has to be a good movie too, you know. I'm not gonna be
yeah,
sitting there for 3.5 hours bored.
yeah.
Hmm. All right. So again, The Brutalist is your winner for best music original score. But to me, it's gonna be The Wild Robot, which won 0 Oscars, surprisingly.
Unbelievable.
This one, I'm just gonna skip over and I'll only announce the winner. Best music original song goes to El Mal. I believe, with Zoe Saldana and
It is.
Emilia Perez, over The Journey, Like a Bird, Mi Camino, and Never Too Late. So, respect to Zoe Saldana's El Mal from Emilia Perez. All right, best freaking picture. Abner knows what it is right away. It's
Yeah.
his movie, it's his woman, Honora, over The Brutalist, A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Emily Perez, I'm Still Here, Nickel Boys, The Substance, and Wicked. Abner, any last thoughts on why Honora won Best Picture?
Yes, I'm gonna surprise you here. My pick
Okay.
for this movie was not Anora. Actually, it was Doom Part Two.
Mm-hmm.
I
Of
thought
course.
that was the best film of the whole year. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
However, I can see why Anora wins Best Picture. I mean, that was probably my second favorite film from the whole year. Um, Again, like I said, Sean Baker edited it, produced it, directed it. Like he did everything for this film, and you could tell that he
Mm-hmm.
put so much care into it. And not only that, for it to be such a low budget film and to still be in theaters, mind you, this movie released in October,
Mm,
and I checked
crazy.
AMC. I checked the AMC app today, and there's still Showtime. Obviously, now with the Oscar win, they're gonna put even more because people
Mm-hmm.
want to see it. But there's still showtimes, like regular prime time showtime, 6:30 p.m., 9 p.m. to see this film, which was, by all means, absolutely not supposed to shatter the box office. It's an independent, low budget film.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure people will see it, but it was not supposed to win this many, and it shows how good that movie was to upset all of these, I mean, amazing filmmakers in this row of films.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Now, I again agree that I think Doom Part 2 should have won this, but the fact that it just won, I believe, two Oscars and was nominated for like what, four, three, tells you that it was really tough for this to win Best Picture, meaning Best Movie. So it was, to me, a tough choice between Wicked or Doom Part 2, not The Substance, not A Complete Unknown, not even The Brutalist, which seemed like a popular movie. So, Anora, I will see tonight why it won Best Picture, but I do think Doom Part 2 or Wicked should have won this award. William, any last thoughts?
No, can't wait to
That's
watch Nora. Yeah.
I'm I'm actually like I could see why Dune Part Two wouldn't win in regards to the Academy. Maybe it's because they've already seen something similar before with Dune Part One,
I
where
heard about that.
like let's not give the award to the same kind of thing. But I mean, I recall
Mm.
Dune Part Two coming out, and everyone everywhere was like, "Oh my God, this is one of the best films."
I mean, again, the
Greatest
fact,
of all time.
yeah. I mean,
So
again, the fact that Denis Villeneuve was not even nominated for Best Director tells you right there it was also tough for this movie to win Best
yeah.
Picture. I mean, that was shocking right there.
Yes, absolutely. I agree. He should have been in the best director category as well.
Mm-hmm.
But
All
that
It's
right.
funny you mentioned that, Abner, about people loving Dune Part Two because I was so mad when that movie came out. Because yeah, everywhere I'd go, people would be like, "Oh my god, it's seen in my life!" Like, "Oh my god, dude, I was." But that's surprised. If it was on this list, I'm surprised they didn't vote for
Mm-hmm.
it more. Honestly, it was definitely a popular choice.
I think something that we're also missing here a lot of the times is that the people that vote for these films are people that know each other, and a lot of the times there's relationships involved. Who do you think should win? Like, there's so many factors that involve. We only see the outside picture of it. When you're in
Right.
the, I mean, you're gonna vote probably for somebody that you worked with in the past, somebody that you
Mm-hmm.
know has that skill. Somebody, like, there's so many categories and so many intricate details that a lot of the times we don't see it, which is why a movie like Nora
Mm-hmm.
wins this, because it shocks people to inside of the industry where, like,
Right.
this is one of the coolest films there is.
Right. All right, guys. So Anora again won Best Picture over my personal options for Doom Part 2 and Wicked. Up next, we're almost done, guys. For Best Production Design, as expected, actually, went to Wicked over The Brutalist, Conclave, Dune, and Nosferatu. Wicked, I've heard behind the scenes that everything you see on set was built, which was more insane to know also. Dune Part 2, um, I can see why it didn't win because they literally went to the actual desert to film, and Conclave, The Brutalist, Nosferatu, I can respectfully see why they didn't win either. Wicked, it was all literally built, which is why I think that specifically is the reason why it won set design or production design.
Yeah, I agree with you on that, Jeremy. When it comes to Wicked, you can noticeably tell that they did a great job at creating an original world that doesn't exist. And
Mm-hmm.
you lose yourself in the film. You know.
William, any last thoughts?
Nothing, But yeah, I mean, I'm surprised Dune didn't win again. I'm just saying. I guess they really know each other. You
Well, Wicked is your best production design winner as personally expected over Dune Part 2 and Nosferatu and The Brutalist and Conclave. Next up, a category that I'm going to skip over but announce the winner. Live action short film goes to I'm Not a Robot over Alien, Anua or Anuja, The Last Ranger, and The Man Who Could Not Remain Silent. So I'm Not a Robot wins Best Live Action Short Film. As we move on to Best Sound, which respectfully, as personally expected, should have gone to Doom Part 2, and it did go to Doom Part 2 over A Complete Unknown, Emilia Perez, Wicked, and The Wild Robot. Any thoughts on Doom Part 2 winning Best Sound as expected?
I mean, yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you're in that theater, whether it's IMAX, Dolby, I mean, I watched this movie in all categories: IMAX, Dolby, regular, digital. You're shocked by it. You come out of it. I remember the first nights when I would come out of this movie, I'm like, whoa! Like you just come out like, oh my god, I feel like I'm in it. You feel like you're in it, and that was all music and cinematography.
Because this movie is made for IMAX, literally.
Yeah, but like the sound is just so powerful and original. It's very, very original. To the point where you're listening to it, and you're like, whoa, I've never heard that before. Like it's like you're into it. Like it flows within you, and it was well deserved one.
William, any last thoughts?
Dune Part 2 made sound cool as hell. I'm just saying.
Nice and easy with you. Anyway, yes, as we mentioned, Doom Part 2 is our winner for Best Sound over Wicked and The Wild Robot, and Fine over A Complete Unknown and Emilia Perez. Best Visual Effects, once again, a movie that was actually a two-way tie, but actually a three-way tie between Doom Part 2, Alien Romulus, and Kingdom of Planet of the Apes, which I thought Planet of the Apes should have won. But once again, Doom Part 2 wins Best Visual Effects over Alien, Better Man, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and Wicked even. Any quick thoughts on this one?
Although I love Doom Part 2, man, Alien Romulus was wow. When it comes to VFX. I think any of those two movies could have taken it. I mean, well-deserved props to Doom Part 2, my favorite film of the year, so, props to them.
Yeah, and the reason why I thought Planet of the Apes would win was because imagine how hard it could be, literally making the body movements of an ape, wearing that costume and everything, all the work put behind the scenes to make that look real.
True.
So I thought any movie using those kinds of techniques should have win visual effects.
Did you see Better Man by any chance?
No, but I saw the trailers and I know what it was all about. I know.
Movie.
I know.
And I'm gonna tell you, I can see why it's in this category. I mean, when you're watching that film, that might be one of like top 3 favorite films of the year. But I think the category that one should have won was writing, because the writing in that film is phenomenal. Like you come out of that film and it's like, whoa, like I want to change my life. Like I need my life to be different ASAP. Like
wow, okay. I need to check. It's crazy.
It's that
great
type
mini
of
review
where it has a great story, and it's based on a true story about Robin Williams, which is I mean props to him. I didn't know him.
No. It wasn't Robin. It was like
Robbie Williams, which is a British singer who, by the way, like tops the charts in UK, and I had no idea, obviously, in his prime, and like I got to introduce his music, but not necessarily his music. It was more about his story and how he gets out of fame and how he deals with the pressure and how. But the fact that they made him look like an ape actually was the best part of that movie because
Mm-hmm.
it allows you to disassociate from the real person and see
Do you
yourself in him.
do you know why they made him as an ape in the movie?
I believe it's because of that, because they wanted to disassociate the viewer and not necessarily see Robbie Williams, but see yourself in the movie. It could be a
That
other reason, yes.
Yeah, there is another reason. I've heard from an article on I think Deadline or Variety. It's because Robbie Williams literally describes himself as a performance monkey.
Okay, makes
There
sense.
you go.
Real.
Yep, there you go. That's the only reason why they made him into a monkey, and
It also made the
why.
movie
What's
so
up?
it also made the movie way more interesting to see
Mm,
among all of this. It was cool.
exactly. Yeah.
Um,
But again, of all these movies, I thought it should have been Planet of the Apes or Alien Romulus. But Dune Part Two is your winner for best visual effects. As we move on to the second to last award, writing adapted screenplay goes to Conclave over A Complete Unknown, Emilia Perez, Nickel Boys, and Sing Sing. This one I have no debate over because these are movies that I've not seen, but if I did have a choice, I would have gone for Just Cause, A Complete Unknown over Conclave just because of the kind of movie it is. But that's just my opinion.
okay, so my thoughts on this category is why is Amelia like and personally Amelia Perez should not be here. Um, Second, let's keep in mind that this category is for adapted screenplays. So
Right.
these are books.
Mm-hmm.
So the book must be adapted to the.
Right.
So my guess is that the Academy, whoever voted on this, had to read the books. That was probably one of the categories for voting on this. I don't know. I'm not aware of it. You have to read the book and then read the screenplay and then watch the film and then see which one actually closely relates to the book as much as possible. Um,
Right.
and my idea is that they probably thought the Conclave, based on a true story, when all of them are, I think, based on a true story,
Mm-hmm.
wins. I saw a lot of argument for Nickel Boys winning this. I haven't watched it. From what I've heard, it was like a lot of people that wanted this to win. And A Complete Unknown was just, I mean, it was
A Bob
Wikipedia.
Dylan biopic.
Yeah, it was a Wikipedia page. So
William, any last thoughts for this one?
No, I gotta check out these films.
Especially for the Bob Dylan biopic, just because
Yeah.
It's Timothée Chalamet, the modern actor. But yes, like you said, Abner, I don't see why Emilia Perez was in this category. But if I did have an option, I would have given it to, after hearing you say it's based off of books, I would have maybe given it to Nickel Boys or Sing Sing because of Common Domingo, who I'm a big fan of in Sing Sing. But all due respect to Conclave for winning Best Writing Adapted Screenplay.
you know what's crazy? I think that Amelia Perez would actually be such a good story if the songs were not involved in it.
That could be true. That
Because
could
the
be
theme
true.
in that movie is so deep, and the things that it deals with are very deep and very real.
Hmm.
Um, that movie would have killed it. And if Selena Gomez wasn't cast as her character and somebody else was, I
Hmm.
think that movie. I mean, all props to Selena. I think she's one of my favorite actresses, but she did not fit that role. Um, and I mean, I think that movie could have done really good if it wasn't a musical or
Okay.
music involved in it. So
Okay. Well, I guess we'll never know now.
we won't. I mean, you could go in and edit it and take out the music.
Just tell the directors for that, or
That
the
could work.
writers, or
Next
whoever's
time,
in charge, the editing, or whoever.
that's a director's cut.
There you go. Again, winner goes to Conclave, not Emilia Perez, not A Complete Unknown, not Nickel Boys, and not Sing Sing for Best Writing Adapted Screenplay. And now for the last award on this site, Best Writing Original Screenplay goes to Abner Ray Knows, but the nominees first were The Brutalist, A Real Pain, September 5th, and The Substance. But the one that took the award was Abner. What was it?
It was an aura, of course it was.
Yes. Yes,
Um,
sir.
yeah, man. I mean, I haven't seen A Real Pain. I can't speak for it. I have seen the trailer for September 5. It does look like a cool movie. The Brutalist, I haven't seen. It also looks like a cool, well-written movie. The Substance, amazing movie. Again, felt personally disgusted by it, but that's maybe what they wanted me to feel, which is good, I guess. That it worked. The movie worked. But again, Anora just takes you on a ride, like from the first movie, from the first beginning. I mean, it got me so interested in it that I started reading the screenplay. I looked up the screenplay and I was like, let me see what this is all about, and I can see why. Apparently, a lot of people were shocked actually by this win because when you do read the screenplay, a lot of it was like more improvised on set. Like a lot of the things on the screenplay are not on the like on the actual film. So it's like a lot of people were shocked by this category winning. But then again, I could also see because the writing was so original and so creative, and it takes you on a ride. I mean, to each their own. You may not like it. Whoever sees it may not like it, but the combination of everything that happened with that movie, directing, acting, for me, was a well-deserved win. So,
you know, I must mention also that A Real Pain was written by Jesse Eisenberg, who was one of my favorite actors, especially in the movie with the magicians. You know, I forget what it was called, but it was
or now.
Now You See Me. I think it's Now You See Me. I think it's
that.
that.
The one with the magicians with the cards?
Yeah.
Yeah,
with him, Woody Harrelson, and
that one. Yeah.
Daniel Radcliffe. Yeah.
Cool movie. That's a very cool movie. I love that.
Yeah, so Jesse Eisenberg, he plays in that movie, who I love a lot, and he plays, I believe, also in that Zombieland movie with Woody Harrelson also. So I love that guy. I love him as an actor, and I believe he has done a really good job with A Real Pain, even though I didn't see it, but I believe it's nominated for a reason. But respectfully, the winner goes to Honora. William, any last thoughts on this category?
I'm just surprised. So you're saying Jesse Eisenberg is the actor?
He acted in the movie in this one, and he acted in other movies, but he also wrote this movie as well. It says.
See, that's why I'm real surprised because I remember him from the Zombieland days. It's crazy to see him out here making making more than just acting. That's really cool.
He's growing. You know.
Like, he wrote this movie and acted in it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Jesse Eisenberg acted in with Kieran Culkin, who won the Oscar.
Oh, that's what this movie is. Okay.
But anyways, yeah. The Substance I will see this week for sure, and I will see why it didn't win. But I'm gonna see why it was nominated after I see Nora again.
Yeah.
Substance had great writing until the final act.
Yep.
Okay.
Like, I was like, what? Why? Like, it felt like it lost its focus. And it should have ended when she becomes like. I mean, I don't want to spoil the movie for you.
Yeah. So be careful.
Yeah, but it should have ended when a transformation happens.
Okay.
That's when it should have ended for me because then the
like a cut to black where he leaves it up to the imagination.
Exactly. Because the final, it was just like let's just do random, and I get the meaning of it, like you want to get back at the people, but honestly, it was unnecessary, and it should have been like at that point I tuned out. I was like, oh.
Yep. I was like, can I leave, please?
Yes.
Let me go home.
My senses were already overridden by that point. I was completely into the movie, and my senses were like all over the place because of the type of movie that it is. At that point, it's like, oh, that's a good ending. End it there. It makes sense. Like a lot of values in it, a lot of emotional, power, and then they kept on going. And I'm like, okay. So.
All right. Well, Nora is your winner for best writing original screenplay.
Well deserved.
I guess tonight I will see why. All right, guys. Any last thoughts on the Oscars itself before we end it here?
I think it was one of the coolest ceremonies to watch and to be a part. Like I wasn't part of it, but to see it, I think it drew a lot of. I mean, I was reading today from the Associated Press that I believe it got the highest views for the Oscars in the past 5 years.
Okay.
that's impressive. That means an uptick in people interested in movies and in films, which is also a great thing. And hopefully we will see more movies released in theaters and more of that. I believe Disney now is also changing their strategy to have less long form content on Disney Plus. Um, so we'll see. I believe the Oscars itself was good. Um, I don't think that 2025 is gonna have a lot of candidates for the Oscars that people are gonna know like that. Um, but 2026 does look like strong. So we'll see.
Hmm. William, last thoughts on the Oscars itself?
Uh, that's really surprising that more people are watching it. Maybe the slap had something to do with it. But
I
who
doubt
who
it. That was
knows?
three
But
years
I
ago.
really hope that people are excited in movies, like Abner said, and that means that we just get cooler stories on the screen. More
Hmm.
interesting, visually engaging,
Yeah.
good story
I
driven
mean,
stuff.
yeah, I mean, like I said before, if you guys watch my TikTok, I did actually a recap video in the Oscars also, and I showed a list of all the movies that didn't win any Oscars, and that and to see the movies that were listed truly surprised me. That's Raw 2 being on there, A Complete Unknown being on there, The Wild Robot being on there, amongst so many others that I thought should have won any Oscar. So that was kind of disappointing. But to hear that Honora got way more awards than a film like Emilia Perez, who had 13 nominations again, and a film like A Complete Unknown, a Bob Dylan biopic with Timothy Chalamet, that did make me smile because that movie looks great that I'm going to see. And yeah, I mean, the host being Conan didn't do a bad job. I just hope we have more of a better comedian kind of person. He's a comedian kind of, but I hope we have someone with more experience, in my opinion. But overall, I thought it was a pretty entertaining show. And my only recommendation is I wish the ads were like the Super Bowl. I wish the ads were very entertaining
Yo,
and had, you know, trailers, new sneak peeks of upcoming films. I wish they had commercial breaks to be like the Super Bowl ads. That's my
I
only
felt like we
recommendation.
watched the same ad like 3, 4 times, dude. I
Mm-hmm.
was I was
Yeah.
ready to start. No,
Mm-hmm. To
I need to
help
see
keep
something
the view,
else.
yeah, to keep the viewers on there. But that's just my opinion. I hope they do it, but I doubt it. But yeah, I mean, if that's all we have left. If
I
that's all we have
have
left to
one,
say,
I have one
yeah,
final thing.
yep,
Challengers should have been in there.
yes, you're right. And
I
Twisted for something, Twisted
and
for
Twister,
VFX.
like those were the biggest films of the year. Those are the ones that drew people into the theater to watch. Those are the
Mm-hmm.
ones that got people even interested in the Oscars in the first place. And to think that those films are not in there, I mean, even Deadpool. I mean, Deadpool had
Oh
the
yeah.
highest movie of the whole year. Made the most
Mm-hmm.
the whole year. I mean, I don't know if Mufasa passed
Yeah.
it or not, but or Inside Out too. I think Inside Out too passed it. Um, but still, like those are like the big films that draw people in, and they're not even featured at least one bit.
Yeah.
So
I do believe the Oscars did miss out on adding those films, like you said, Challengers, Twister, Deadpool, as nominees for any categories. So I hope next year's they add more deserving movies for 2026. But yeah, with that said, this was your Oscars 2025 recap. I'm your host, Jeremy Kaziva, aka Entertain Today. I'm here with Abner, also known as Abner Movies, and with William Araki, also known as Perfectly Normal Oscar Opinions, which is a very long username, but with the Thanos picture. Keep that, please, William.
wait, with Will Smith slapping Thanos.
Yeah, he told me
Yeah,
too. Very, very wise. All
yeah,
right.
go to the
This
lab for
is
that one.
It's now
this
been 3 years since Will Smith has been banned
yeah.
from
Feel
Oscars.
old yet,
So
right?
he only has 7 more years.
Bro, free the homie. He didn't do anything wrong.
All right. This was your 2025 Oscars recap, episode 7. Stay tuned for episode 8. That will come next week or as soon as possible. Again, I'm your host, Anthony, today with Abner and William. Have a good night, guys.
Yes, sir. Take it easy.
Good night, everybody.